Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, May 25th. My name is Alan, and I want to welcome you to my Spiritual Growth Through Recovery podcast. Purpose of these videos is to grow my spirituality by following the AA program of recovery, and I do that best by being honest, vulnerable, and accountable, which is why I'm making the videos. I'm no expert in AA or recovery or spirituality. I'm just trying to live life on life terms and do it sober. The recipe we follow here is we read the daily reading out of the AA Daily Reflections book. There's a link in the description if you'd like to follow along. I'll just share my take on the reading and usually some other topic. All right, so today the topics are going to be progressive gratitude and then part one of this emotional neglect trauma thing that I'm just working through. So we'll kind of do part one today, part two tomorrow, and then from here on out, I'm going to really try to be positive, all right? Okay, so May 25th. Progressive gratitude. Gratitude should go forward rather than backward. As Bill sees it, page 29. I'm very grateful that my higher power has given me a second chance to live a worthwhile life. Through Alcoholics Anonymous, I have been restored to sanity. The promises are being fulfilled in my life. I am grateful to be free from the slavery of alcohol. I am grateful for peace of mind and the opportunity to grow. But my gratitude should go forward rather than backward. I cannot stay sober on yesterday's meeting or past 12-step calls. I need to put my gratitude into action today. Our co-founder said our gratitude can best be shown by carrying the message to others. Without action, my gratitude is just a pleasant emotion. I need to put it into action by working step 12, by carrying the message and practice these principles in all my affairs. I am grateful for the chance to carry the message today. All right, so I guess kind of what I took from the reading here was, progressive gratitude. So what does progressive mean? It's developing gradually in stages, so it kind of keeps moving along and improving, or I guess it could get worse as well, but our idea is the more we work this gratitude, the practice of gratitude, the more we'll experience that, right? And gratitude is just the quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation and return the kindness, all right? I'm grateful that my higher power has given me a second chance to live a life worthwhile. Sometimes I question whether I deserve a second chance, and I certainly didn't have a life that felt very worthwhile, that's for sure. Through Alcoholics Anonymous, I have been restored to sanity. I'll never forget one of the first times I read step 2 where it talked about came to believe that a higher power, a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. That implies that I'm insane. Well, what is that? What does insane mean? It's just more about, that's not supposed to happen that way, is it? Really it's about being, temporarily unable to think clearly, kind of being, not quite there, and perception's off. And that's, it doesn't got to be nuts, it's just got to be not quite right, all right? Then it kind of talks about how gratitude should go forward rather than backwards. So to me, forward means, how am I showing that today, in this moment, and in my actions for today? And backwards, it's almost like resting on my laurels. Well, I did that, so I'm good. So it's almost like you've heard either we're growing or we're dying, either we're improving or we're getting worse. It really comes down to just carrying the message. Step 12, action, and more action. I am one that work, take a break. And then it kind of comes back to bite me. So anyway, that's kind of what I took from that reading. I kind of wanted to just talk about this emotional neglect stuff. And as I'm kind of going through, like, how did I end up the way I did? Why do I feel this way? All that kind of stuff. And just looking back at my childhood, what I kind of noticed was I either experienced criticism or nothing. And I remember feeling like I had to figure it out myself. No one was going to help me. I'll just fumble my way through it. And I was on my own from like 14 or 16. So as I'm kind of just researching things, it just felt like this is a topic just maybe that'll help me just by talking through. So the topic is emotional neglect trauma. It's kind of 3 different parts. So what is trauma? Trauma is a deeply distressing or disturbing experience. Wow, something happened to us, right? And there's all kinds of different types of traumas if you research different things. There's big T traumas and little t traumas. There's type 1, type 2, emotional, psychological, whatever. So the next thing is, what is an emotional trauma? So the emotional trauma is where the end result leaves us feeling deeply unsafe or helpless. It can be a single event or ongoing abuse, bullying, discrimination, humiliation, that kind of thing. It's kind of more about the nervous system's ability to regulate stress and integrate emotions than the event itself. You know, the body's kind of responding to this world, right? It can leave us struggling with upset emotions, memories, and anxiety that won't go away. And I feel a lot of that. So then, okay, the next piece is what's emotional neglect trauma, all right? Neglect is to fail to care for properly. It leaves you feeling sad when everything in your life seems right. It's just something ain't right. And I've felt that way a lot. It's not something that's done to you, something that has failed to happen to you, making it invisible. The number of times I needed someone to talk to, nothing happened. Okay, well, nothing. I told them that I was, wanting to. One point in time, I kind of just mentioned a song about suicide, and oh, nice. They didn't pick up any of that. And I'm not trying to bang on my parents. This is just my perception of it, okay? So what are some of the symptoms of emotional neglect trauma? Be a persistent sense of unsafety and other challenging emotions such as fear and or anxiety. It can be accompanied by physical symptoms, insomnia, nightmares, other health issues, not really. Having a hard time knowing what you feel, not so much anymore, but I did. Believe that there's something wrong with you, totally. Feeling hollow or empty inside, definitely felt that. Feeling disconnected from those you should feel close to. Question whether your feelings are valid or believe your feelings are bad. I've always kind of like, well, should I feel this way? Nothing wrong with my feelings. Now, what do I do with that? That's a different story. Overly self-critical and feelings of shame, definitely. Believe that you cannot rely on anyone but yourself. I am the poster child for that. So what are some of those responses? So if we experience this, how might we act out, right? Denial, confusion, or difficulty concentrating. So I'm too consumed with how I'm feeling and how do I cope. Anger and fear, a lot of guilt and anxiety. Depression and withdrawn from friends and family. No one's going to be there anyway, it's just me. And maybe flashbacks to the event, which I can't say I experienced that. So that's kind of the first part. And so what I want to do for the next part was, so the next part I want to talk about is just kind of go into detail a little bit about how this was caused, what I experienced growing up, and then how this affects me today, and then how do I heal from it. So that's kind of how I wrap it up. So ultimately, I want to deal with it and then move on from it and then get back to life. So anyway, that's what I got for today. Hope your week is going well. I definitely want to encourage you to, are we showing gratitude for the things we have and the blessings and the second chances? Or are we constantly complaining? Are we taking action today to show the gratitude, not just feel it, but show it? If not, I encourage you to do that. I'll be back tomorrow for week wrap up, and until then, peace out.